If you're heading to Great Smoky Mountains National Park, you probably need a parking tag. So today I want to talk about all the ins and outs of getting this parking tag so that you can have an amazing adventure in the park. My name is Ash, and I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes, and I'm excited to help you plan your trip to Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It's a beautiful national park full of great hiking trails and wonderful waterfalls and so much wildlife, so you're really in for a special adventure. Great Smoky Mountains has long been a favorite of many national park visitors. It is the most visited national park in the United States, with somewhere around 12 to 13 to 14 million visitors each year. So huge amount of visitation in this park, and they are unable to collect entrance fees. And so that is why a parking tag is now required. And this is a good thing because there are so many people that come to enjoy this park, and the budget really just isn't what it should be to maintain a park with this high of visitation numbers. And so this parking tag, this fee goes straight back into the park. It helps pay for more park rangers. It helps keep the trails nice. It helps keep the garbages empty. It helps keep the bathrooms clean. All of those things. And so your money goes straight back into the park with this parking tag, and it is desperately needed. Okay, so here's the map of Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And when this national park was established, this road here, this Highway 441 through the park, it's also known as the Newfound Gap Road. It is pretty much the main road in the park. There's a lot of things you can do along this road, but this road is not able to have an entrance fee. And so that's why the parking fee is here. And if you're going anywhere in the park at this point and you're parking for longer than 15 minutes, then you do need that parking tag. If you're just using the park as a throughway, like many people do, many people use this highway to get from Tennessee to North Carolina. And so if you're just driving and you're not really stopping, you're not getting out to do anything, then you won't need the parking tag. But if you're like me and you want to get out, you want to explore, you want to hike a trail, then you will need one of these. Okay, so let's jump over to the Great Smoky Mountains website and talk you through the ins and outs of this parking tag. I will try to answer as many questions as I can, and I will also put a link to the webpage that I'm going through in the video description below if you want to click over and read through some of the other FAQs and things that are on there. Okay, so coming in here, you'll notice at the top, again, if you're parking longer than 15 minutes, you need a parking tag in this park. If you're visiting on a fee-free entrance day, this is for the whole National Park Service, then you won't need a parking tag for that day. So you can make note of those if you want to. Coming down here though, so there are 3 different parking tags that you can get. You can get the daily, the weekly, or the annual. So for most people, if you're just coming for a day or two, the daily would make sense. If you're going to be here 3 or more days, or you're just not wanting to sign up for a pass for every day, then the weekly is a really great option. That's the one I like to do because it's only $15. It gets you in. You can park for 7 days, and you don't have to keep buying another one every day or going to a kiosk or going through this process every single day of your trip. So weekly makes sense if you're going to be there for 3 or more days, or if you just don't want to have to get one daily. And then you have the annual pass. This is more for people who are local. It's an actual decal that you'll put on your vehicle. And so if you're going to be in the park all the time, if you live nearby, that one would make the most sense. So the thing about these tags is they are license plate specific. Any 3 of them. And so you do need to know your license plate to be able to purchase one of these tags. For me, when I go to the Great Smokies, I have to rent a car. We fly in, we don't live anywhere close to the Smokies, and so we rent a car, and so I'm not able to do this process in advance. I just have to take care of it when I get there because I don't know what my license plate is going to be. So just keep that in mind as you're getting your parking tag. You do need a license plate, and it's not transferable. And so if you have multiple vehicles, each vehicle will need its own pass. One more thing I want to point out here, and you can read through all this, but your interagency passes. So if you have a senior, an access, or an America the Beautiful, any of those annual passes for the national parks do not count as your parking tag. Those cover entrance fees, and this is not an entrance fee. And so you will need a parking tag regardless of if you have one of these annual passes or not. Okay, so you have several different ways to get one of these parking tags. And so I want to walk you through the most ideal ways for most people. And so I can help you make sure that you get the parking tag you need. Okay, so as you can see here, there are 4 different ways to purchase your parking tag. There are in-person locations that you can see here. My issue with the in-person places is that you are at the whim of whatever their hours are. And so for me, I like to get in the park early. I like to beat people in so that I can get parking and so I don't get stuck in the crowds. And so if you're waiting for one of those in-person locations to open, then you will be stuck in the crowds all day. You won't be in there early enough probably to get the parking spots where you want. And so that's why I don't personally recommend the in-person locations. Another thing you'll want to note, and this is true for any of the places where you buy this, when you're buying the daily and weekly parking tags, they start on the day that you purchase it. So you're not going to be buying these tags in advance, because if you buy a daily tag in advance, say you buy it the day before and you're like, okay, well, we don't want to wait for the visitor center to open, so we'll buy it the night before. It doesn't work that way. You can't choose your date. If you buy it the night before, then that is the day that that parking tag will be valid, and it will expire at 11:59 p.m. So you can't do it the day before at one of the in-person places or at one of the kiosks. You will need to purchase it the day that you want that parking tag to be valid. So you'll see here the daily ones expire at 11:59 p.m. The weekly ones are 11:59 p.m. 7 days from the day that you purchase. So again, if you are going to be in Great Smokies for 3 days, you could purchase this, the night before you're ready to go into the park, and you would have enough time because it's a 7-day pass. So kind of play it by ear, but like I said, I usually just like to go with the weekly pass. I like the extra time. I like a little bit more flexibility with it. So that's the in-person sales locations. The kiosks are often in the same areas as the in-person sales locations. So you can see like the visitor centers and stuff like that. A lot of those have kiosks as well. So you don't have to go in. You can use a kiosk at some of these places. But these ones, this is how I do it. I usually I'll pick also like the visitor center ones. Sometimes they're kind of busy. And so if I can go to a smaller area, like I really like the Metcalf Bottoms picnic area, and it's super easy to get a parking tag there at the kiosk. Cades Cove is usually pretty busy. So if you can get it before that, that'd be great, or get there earlier. The Newfound Gap Overlook, some of these are a little bit busier, but they are in really nice locations around the park. So you can easily pick one up while you're out exploring. The purchase and ship is for the annual parking tags. So take a look at that if you want an annual. The purchase and print is what I want to show you today. So if you do have your license plate number, you're driving your own vehicle, you know what that license plate number is going to be, then you can actually go online and pre-purchase this for the day that you want. And that's really easy and convenient. And then you can just print it out and bring it with you. So you don't even have to stop at a kiosk or one of the in-person locations if you already know what car you're driving and what the license plate number is. Okay, so we are going to do that over on recreation.gov. I will just show you. And so when you go to recreation.gov, you can put in Great Smoky Mountains National Park and find the parking tag, or you can just go straight to the parking tag. And then you'll come down here and you'll hit purchase. Now, these tags don't sell out, so they will give as many of these tags as people want to buy. It's not like other national parks where it's capped or there's a specific number of people that can buy these per day. That's not how that works. So this is just, if you need one, you can buy one, you can pre-purchase it, and you're not in competition or anything with anybody else to get this. So you'll come in here, select the one that you want, put in your order details, say that you've read the need to know information. What you'll do here is you'll put in your start date. So you can see these are available. They're available 6 months in advance. So you'll see when you come a little bit further, these ones haven't been released yet because it's not 6 months in advance yet, but they will open them up 6 months in advance. So you can go all the way through October right now. Let's say we're doing the 22nd. Then you'll see that my reservation is good for the 22nd, valid through the 22nd. And then you'll put in your personal vehicle and your license plate number and all your information here. If you want the weekly, then what you would do is select weekly there and then select the start date that you want. So let's say July 14th. And then you'll see that it is valid through the 20th. So it will automatically pre-populate that date. So just make sure that your trip falls within those dates that show there. If you're going to do it on recreation.gov in advance, just make sure you print out the parking tag that they email you after you go through that process and put in your payment information. You will need to print it out yourself. There's not going to be anywhere in the park to do that. And so print it out, bring it with you, put it in your vehicle. You'll display it on the passenger side down along the window so that they can see it along the dash. Okay, so those are the 4 ways that you can get the parking tag. Again, if you can do it in advance, that's probably easier. It's nicer just to not have to deal with it when you get there. But using the kiosks is fine too. Like I said, that's what we always have to do when we go, and they're quick and easy. You just input your information and it spits out a tag that you will then display in your vehicle along the dash of the passenger side. So one place that people do get kind of confused when it comes to this parking tag is that the parking tag, like I said, it's not a competition. They are not capping the number of parking tags that can be sold each day. And so you just need to have a parking tag if you're going to be in the park, but that does not guarantee you a parking space. It does not mean that the park is not going to be crazy busy. In fact, just the opposite. It's going to be hard to get parking. This park is pretty much always busy, especially during the main season of like May through October. And so if you're visiting during that time, you're still gonna need to come with a really good plan. You're still gonna need to know when to be where so that you're able to get parking and so that you're not stuck in the traffic and the crowds all day. So hopefully that helped and it gives you a better idea of how to get this parking tag and why it's needed. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe. I have a whole bunch of videos about Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I can help walk you through everything you need to know to plan the perfect trip to the Great Smokies, and you'll find those here on the Dirt in My Shoes YouTube channel. So subscribe, watch some of these other Great Smokies videos so that you can get some dirt in your shoes and have a fantastic time in Great Smoky Mountains National Park.